Hey, it's Neville. Last night I watched the Australian ABC News Network report on the Brussels Airport and railway station attacks. I waited over an hour for them to say who did it, and finally they did. And it was, and I quote, a kamikaze attack. So now you know. The Brussels airport was bombed by the Imperial Japanese Navy. So, what is a terrorist? A killer with the longest, most consistent list of defining characteristics in history, and yet no clear law enforcement profile. What is terrorism? Nothing to do with Islam, and everything to do with you and me. What causes terrorism? You and me. What doesn't cause terrorism? Terrorists. What concerns government, law enforcement, and media the most about terrorism? You and me asking serious questions about terrorism. What's got nothing to do with itself? Islam. What's got nothing to do with Islam? Tomorrow's bomb blast. What's really got nothing to do with Islam? The government and law enforcement's anti-terrorism policy. How long is a millisecond? The time between tomorrow's bombing, shooting, stabbing, or beheading, and the government, police, and media saying it has nothing to do with Islam. How can you tell when politicians and law enforcement are lying for Islam? They're having a press conference after tomorrow's terror attack and using the redundant prefixes of radical and extremist. What's the first priority of such a press conference? To defend Islam and attack you and me. What is a backlash? A backlash is something that never happens, especially after the forward lash of Islamic terrorism that actually has happened. What is the zero tolerance policy of extremism for? The facts of Islam and you and me, if we mention those facts. Who is the main target of government and law enforcement anti-terrorism strategy? You and me, and anyone else who mentions the strategy is a failure and doomed. What is the difference between a moderate and a radical? A moderate follows the 5 pillars of Islam, while a radical follows the 5 pillars of Islam. Radicals want Sharia law now if they don't already have it. Moderates are willing to wait for Sharia law, sometimes even for years or months or even hours. Radicals want to kill you and me right now. Moderates don't want to kill you and me right now. Radicals can't always go on the ABC and espouse their insane ideology, while moderates always can. What's the difference between a one-armed blind barrister and a police sniper? After 15 hours, the one-armed blind barrister could deliver a single shot through a cafe window and satisfy customers. What is law enforcement's rapid response time to a terrorist cafe siege? About 15 hours tops. What is the most irrelevant aspect of terrorism? That it usually involves some guy called Muhammad. What do leftists condemn about Islamic terrorists? You and me. And the terrorists haven't killed enough Jews. What dangerous groups do law enforcement focus on the most in their fight against terrorism? Anyone who notices who the terrorists always are. The religion of peace, or else.